Here comes a lesson on how to win the worst map in the game in, it's about 5 minutes, I think. Maybe 10 minutes. Yeah. Erlenberg's a shit map. Normally it draws out, just because of the way the map's designed. There's only 3 reliable routes you can use to cross the river. There's 4 or 5 places you can actually cross, but 2 of them are very risky. Either you'll drown because you missed the off-ramp, or you will get shot. So rather than do the usual thing that puppies do, which is go north or hell camp the castle, my platoon rushes the south. We've tried a couple times rushing the K line and hiding behind that house and using the little depression there to hold down in. It doesn't work so well, especially when the enemy have this many tier 10 TDs. So instead we're going to just hold down off the back of this ridge line and try and deny the enemy the ability to come around the corner. Now they've got a scout up already, so we're all lit. They know we're coming. I risk stopping to take a shot at him. He shoots back and bounces around off me. Now, hardest is in a Wheezy 120, which has, I believe, 2 degrees of gun depression, and Primal Z75 has, I think, 7 or 8 degrees. I'm the only one here who can actually get their gun down, so I'm going to be doing the majority of the work here. Those 2 are just going to be trying not to get artied. Now, the enemy have already set up a pretty strong position in the 9 line, but because I've got this hill as cover, they can't hit me, and their artillery is going to have a hell of a time hitting me as well. It'll be much easier to hit hardest and prime law further down the hill. So I'm going to abuse my spotting range and my gun depression, as well as my hill climbing ability, to just sort of play around on the back of this hill, try and spot tanks, pop out either side where I have targets and take some easy shots. So hardest just bounce around there. That Wheezy 132 is shooting at us. Trying to get shots on him, but I lose sight just before I can draw a bead. I think he was side scraping or something. I couldn't see very much of his tank. So you can see in the north part of the map, it's building into that very static, shitty gameplay that leads to draws on this map, that they're all just stopping in the 2 and 3 lines. Now, this strat doesn't always work. You need teammates who will actually support you to some extent, or you'll just get rushed. In fact, if the enemy team had known how few of us there were here, they probably would have rushed us. So taking out that Wheezy 132, definitely worth exposing myself for that shot. He was spotting everybody on hill, he was taking shots at us, he needed to go down. So now you can see me trying to work the other side. It's a lot harder because I don't have as good an angle. The Centurion does have excellent gun depression, the best of any high tier tank, but unfortunately it just doesn't have enough for that slope. But it does have enough for the lower part of the hill. That was an arty shell landing on top of Prime Law that you just heard. That's why I didn't go any further down the hill. Arty has extreme difficulty hitting things on back slopes. If the hill is angled towards them, it's easier. If it's angled away, it's absolutely hellish to try and hit a target, especially smaller tanks. Not that the Centurion is at all small. So you can see me here looking for shots. I just can't get any. Patton's back behind another hill. So I'm starting to get a bit antsy at this point. There was really no need to. We got plenty of time left, but I just didn't like sitting there doing nothing while Arty landed all around me. So I began to push up the outside. The enemy M103 and Wheezy 132 in middle have been taken care of, so there's really no threat to my left side that I'm aware of. The ISU is, ISU's up north, the Pershing is with him. So I'm going to try and get around the sides of these heavies and spot some of them from behind, if I can pop over and shoot. But, oh no, we're 268. I hesitated too long there. I should have just either hit reverse immediately or driven forwards. Either way I would have been in defilade from him. But he didn't take the shot anyway. He just hit our 1390. I start working my way around the folds in the hill, trying to find a way to get shots on him without being shot myself. It's one of the important things when you're playing a tank like this. You need to be able to work the terrain. You need to know which part of the hill to go on to keep terrain between you and the enemy. You see it especially when I play Malinovka and take this to the hill. I actually don't drive straight in straight lines. I weave around a lot trying to follow the terrain. So here we have a JP Hundo. He misses. This guy is one of the worst players in the game, by the way. I didn't notice who it was when I was playing, but I'm not surprised he missed me. So I'm just trying to keep these TDs lit, keep them distracted so they can't support their heavies. Prime Law's been just murdered by that arty, and Hardest has moved around a bit to try and get off the back of that hill. But by occupying their TDs, I'm keeping them from pushing on the IS-7 and Hardest, so I'm doing some decent work here, even if I'm not getting a lot of damage in. RAMX is pushing up to threaten these guys. It gives me a chance to pop up again. I go for a Cupola shot on the JPE, but no dreams today. Only sold. But by this point, we've established map control. Our team have crossed in the north. We own the south. The only place the enemy really can flex anywhere is in the middle, and doing so is going to get them shot. I just bounced a JP 100 shell. This is why I love the Centurion. Hull down, they have nothing to shoot but that beautiful gun mantlet. Now their pattern is obviously getting sick of my existence, and so he rushes me. I get in a lucky track shot. I wasn't actually intentionally trying to track him, it just worked out that way, and then he missed. So you can see the Centurion is basically so agile it can't be circle strafed. Maybe not as good at pivot turning as some of the other mediums, but it turns quite fast. Certainly too fast for a pattern to circle. So with him down, I start moving up to work over the TDs, who are all distracted by our tanks in the north now. Get one into the 183, spot the arty. Take a shot at the JPE, but scrub it into the dirt. Doesn't matter because the IS-7 gets him anyway. So it's just the FV left, not anymore. 268 is pushing towards the AMX. I don't have real good shots here. If I'd waited, I probably could have hit him, but he misses me. Hardest begins pushing up. Our ISU has been hiding in back all game, doing absolutely fucking nothing. Take out their arty. 268 shoots the dirt in front of his face, because it was really scary dirt, I suppose. And then he starts charging me. I time my shot so I get him through the floor. And I'm just about to get vaporized when Artie hits him, and then our Roomba hits me in the back. But easy 4.5k damage game. This map does usually degenerate into a horrific fucking campfest where neither team crosses the river. The way this map usually works is whoever makes an aggressive push across the river first loses, which is why everyone hell camps, especially with tier 10 TDs. But if you're quick and you get across that south bridge from the south spawn, or the north bridge from the north spawn, and hold down on that hill, you can turn it into a fairly decent map. So obviously from the north spawn, which is about there, the best strat is to push across that bridge and hold down in that position. There's also that area along the coast where you can hold down to some degree. The problem is that it's a lot easier for them to push on that hill than it is for them to push on this one, or at least it seems to be, because quite often you'll see tanks push up and around into you, whereas here they'll back up and try and use the ENF lines as cover.